Hi everybody, and welcome back to the fourth episode of What Architecture School Does Not Teach You. My name is Ines Hemmings and I created this series full of tips, tricks and lessons from my personal past in order to help you find your truth. And today we'll talk about doubts. So whether you're an architecture student or a professional, I'm sure you've been there several times before. This situation that you're in your creative design process and you don't make as much progress as you want to make. And instead of just trying to resolve that creative block or asking someone for help, you completely start to doubt yourself. Am I good enough as an architect? Am I creative enough? Should I do something else? And I can tell you from experience that I've been there several times before. But I figured out a strategy on how to use my doubts to empower me instead of defeating me. So as you might have heard in my last series on why you should not compare yourself to others, I talked about how I moved abroad for my master's and I was really motivated. So when I started my project, I was very passionate about it and as always taking on a lot of research. Whenever I start a project, I really try and experiment and stretch my comfort zone as much as possible, which also leads me to slack in things that I'm less experienced and less interested at. For example, detailing and structures. And I remember this particular situation where I was trying to solve the stair detail of the circulation in the building, and I just didn't make as much progress as I wanted to make. And instead of just, simply asking for help or not being so strict with myself and taking a break, it would just lead me down that negative spiral, and I would fall into this black and white thinking, was I good enough as an architect? Was I creative enough? Is my future within architecture? Should I do something else? And the simple creative block would lead me down this negative spiral that even made me question my study choice. Hello, perfectionism. And I'm sure that so many of you have gone through similar situations before as well. So whether it's doubts about, your creative process or about your job future, self-doubt can be a really persuasive and troubling voice that holds you back a lot. And it's really important to know that any kind of doubt basically always boils down to the feeling of not feeling good enough, And not feeling good enough is a huge cloud in your sky. If you haven't watched my second episode on self-awareness with the metaphor on the blue skies and the clouds, you might consider watching it first before we continue here. But if you have, doubt itself is not so much a problem, it's the way we deal with doubt. And we can simply shift our mindset to look at it with fresh and different eyes. So there are two reactions, one is fearful and one is empowering. And in order to visualize it better, we'll put that self-limiting belief or that feeling of not feeling good enough. So you're not making any progress in your project, you're having this creative block and you feel doubtful, so you feel not good enough. Let's put that into a cloud, and really visualize that in front of us. And the first reaction really is that you see this cloud, you even feel it, it's above you and it's black and it's raining and it's thundering down on you, and you feel completely powerless, you feel very small, you don't know what to do about it, you just know that, I'm not good enough. Or the second option is that you look up at the cloud, and you really confront it. So curious as you are as an architect, you confront your doubt with kindness and curiosity because you're really interested where this doubt comes from. What does it have to teach you? And so you two start a conversation one-to-one, So this one-to-one conversation would look something like this. Hi, doubt.
Hi there.
What's up?
I'm here to tell you that you're not good enough. You're not making this right. You shouldn't become an architect.
Okay. Why not?
Because you can't even figure out the detailing of those stairs.
Yeah, well, I will eventually. Everything is a process.
But look at others. They can even do it. That's your proof that you're not good enough.
I've learned not to compare myself to others, but really focus on myself. Because no one is perfect and everyone has their own struggles. It takes a lot of time and practice to become really good at something. So I believe I can make it.
If you were meant to become an architect and if you were good at what you do, you wouldn't have these doubts.
No, I see it differently. That's wrong. Doubts are absolutely normal. They come and go, and thanks to you, I learned something about myself, you know.
What do you mean? What do you learn through me?
Well, whenever you appear, you are basically trying to teach me something in order to become that person that I want to be, right?
So what am I teaching you?
Well, a lot of things. Thanks to you, I'm learning that doubt is just in my head. It does not say anything about my self-worth, and it comes and goes if I stop resisting it. Thanks to you, I'm starting to see things from different perspectives, which is a crucial skill that I can apply to my designs. Thanks to you, I question my beliefs, whether I really want to become an architect, because I know that the future of our profession is very broad and interdisciplinary, and perhaps architecture in the traditional way will not be my path. And ultimately, you bring with you insecurity and dissatisfaction that motivates me and makes me want to innovate and look within myself. So, dear doubt, tell me, what are you really trying to tell me this time?
Everything I do, I basically do to test you. I test how strong and resilient you really are. I test you to look within yourself and find your truth.
Well, right now my truth is that I'm designing a stair detail, and I'm very angry right now that I'm not making as much progress as I want to make. I want to make it right. So what should I do?
Do whatever is in your reach.
Okay, let's see. What is in my reach? I could ask for help from a colleague or a tutor. Or perhaps I could just take a break. Perhaps I'm just also being too strict to myself, and things will eventually fall into place once I stop holding on to my ego that wants perfect and quick solutions.
Good, you are learning. For now you're good. I'll come back later at another time just to test you again. And now go ask someone for help.
This is not a hoax, by the way. It really works. Try it out. Now, as you see, doubts are really very normal, and all it takes sometimes is just a little shift in perspective. Questioning your doubts always leads you into this one-to-one conversation with yourself, and always makes you realize the next tiny step that you should do, you know? And that's all you need. You just need your next one small step. And that's why questioning yourself is so powerful, because ultimately all the answers you need are always within yourself. Isn't that amazing? So the next time when you feel doubtful again, really try and question your doubt up front, and try to see it from a point of, investigation. What is my doubt trying to teach me? In the end, doubts are nothing more than little helpers that make ourselves and our designs stronger. And next time when a doubt comes along, you'll be better prepared to push through. And remember, the design process is never about right or wrong, but it's always about trial and error and patience, and really believing in what you create. Because ultimately, the world you see around is always a reflection of your beliefs. So keep your head up high and believe in yourself. Believe that you will eventually get where you want to go. Now, I'd be really curious to know from you, what are you doubtful about? Is it more about your creative design process or your skills as an architect? Or perhaps you're doubtful about your job future and don't really know what to do. Let us know in the comments below so we can really support each other, And I hope that I could help you, and I really hope to see you next time. Keep your head up high, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, my Instagram, and my Twitter at What Art School Does Not Teach You. See you next time. I have so many more things that I'd like to share with you.